Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Koski and Funny back at it again. Took a little thing off with the kids at spring break, but I'm back. And we talking about unproductive blacks. You know, and this story gonna build up for a minute, but I'm gonna show you who this unproductive black is as we go into it. But first, let's start off with this: how black female prisoners are sterilized to cut welfare costs in California. It is shocking, the kind of treatment that is handed out to black people in America in the 21st century. Many of us have read the sterilization of African American people in the early to mid 1990s, but we didn't imagine how it would still be going on now. In California, of all places, it has been reported that the prison doctors have sterilized over 150 black women. Their reason has been the American system does not want to provide welfare funding for any children these women may have in the future. The ungodly sterilization procedures cost California taxpayers $147,046 between 1997 and 2010. The doctors at the prison have argued that the money is well spent. An OGBYN, Dr. James Heinrich, at Valley State Prison for Women said, over a 10-year period, that isn't a huge amount of money compared to what you save in welfare payments for these unwanted children as they procreate more. Although these procedures may seem harsh, it is surprising to find they are not illegal in the United States. A Supreme Court ruling in 1927 states that women can be forcibly sterilized in jail. Let me read that again. A Supreme Court ruling in 1927 states that women can be forcibly sterilized in jail in Buck versus Bell. In a shocking defense for the majority, Supreme Court Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. said, 3 generations of imbeciles are enough. Holmes wrote, we have seen more than once that the public welfare may call upon the best citizens for their lives. It would be strange if it could not call upon those already sapped the strength of the state for these lesser sacrifices, often not felt to be such as those to be concerned, in order to prevent our being swamped with incompetence. In California prisons, they jail women not necessarily being forced to undergo sterilization, but the women said they get coerced and pressured by doctors to make the decision. One of the inmates said, I figured it was just what happens in prison, that they're the best kind of doctor you're going to get. There is a regulation in California that requires the state to approve e-sterilization procedures. Doctors at the prison were able to cut corners and get around that, however. The prison medical manager said she signed off on sterilization procedures since Heinrich listed them as medical emergencies. Do you think de-sterilization is wrong? On one hand, the very idea is somewhat disturbing. On the other hand, however, it is likely to prevent more generations of expensive children exposed to the drugs and the crime-filled lives. It beats the imagination to see humans playing God in the lives of other humans. How does one determine or know that that child was going to be useless or a burden to society just because of his or her parents' negative past? Who says a convict cannot give birth to a child who later can become an icon and a role model citizen to society? Procreation is nature's gift, and everyone, no matter their wrongdoing or right doings, should own the right to decide to procreate or not. What the government should do is focus on creating equal rights and justice for African Americans in America. The government should reduce the victimization of black people so that the risk of them being in prison for little or nothing will be eliminated. Right? Imprisoning black people for little or nothing will be eliminated. Now, as this article stated, the ungodly sterilization procedures cost California taxpayers between $147,000 between 1997 and 2010, the last study. Who was in charge of this stuff during this time? Who was in charge? Let's see who was in charge of this stuff during this time. Now, this is one of the people who was in charge of this stuff during this time. As you know, this is Kamala Harris. She's running for President of the United States. Let's see her bio. Kamala Davy Harris, October 2nd, 20th, 1964, is an American attorney and politician who served as a junior United States Senator from California since 2017. A member of the Democratic Party, she serves the 33rd 32nd, Attorney General of California from 2011 to 2017, and as the 27th Attorney General, District Attorney of San Francisco between 2004 and 2011. On January 21st, 2019, she officially announced her campaign to run for Democratic nomination for the United States of America. On November 12, 2008, Harris announced her candidacy for California Attorney General. Both California and United States Senator Dana Feinstein and Daniel Barbara Boxer, as well as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, all from California, endorsed Harris during her Democratic primary. In June 8, 2010 primary, she was nominated with 33% of the vote, defeating Alberto Tonesano, who received 15.6%, and Kelly, who received another 15%. Her campaign for Attorney General, Harris received endorsements from United Farm Workers, who else? United Educators of San Francisco Firefighters Local, and she also received endorsement from Lieutenant Villegas, Mayor of Los Angeles. In a general election, she faced District Attorney Steve Cooley on election night. So let's see. Let's keep going down. So 2014, she announced her bid to run again. Her tenure, housing relief. She never went after the banks, as we told before. When Angela Harris took the office in 2011, California was still reaping from the effects of the subprime mortgage crisis. In 2012, she participated in a national mortgage settlement against 5 banks, securing $12 million of debt restructuring for the state, homeowners, and $26 billion overall. Prison conditions and sentencing reform. After the United States Supreme Court in Brown versus Plata, 2011, California declared prisons were so overcrowded they inflicted cruel and unusual punishment. Harris fought federal court supervision, explaining, "I have a client, and I don't like to choose my clients." After California failed to fully implement the court orders to reducing overcrowding, it was considered to implement the new parolee programs, and the state of California appealed the decision. And the court found that the AG office, her office, argued that if it was forced to release these inmates early, prisons would lose their important source of labor, such as fighting wildfires. Prisoners in California earn 8 to 35 cents an hour in maintenance and kitchen jobs. Prison firefighters receive higher pay at $1 an hour. Harris later backed away from her office argument in a prison litigation case, telling the website Think Process, "The way they argue played out in court does not reflect my priorities." People to have in district service is one of the worst possible interceptions. I feel strongly about that, and invokes images of the chain gang. Harris refused to take any position on criminal sentence reform initiative, Proposition 36 in 2012, and Proposition 47 in 2014, arguing it would be improper for her office prepares the ballot's booklets. Former California Attorney General John D. Vanderkamp considered our explanation baloney. Why was that important to show about Kamala Harris and the prison stuff like that? Because even though she said wanted to keep the prisons there from overcrowding and sterilize them, there's another thing about Kamala Harris and her ratchetness that need to be talked about when it comes down to killing all black people. Unproductive blacks. Kamala Harris lied about jailing parents over truancy, but it's not funny. For progressives, there are reasons to be suspicious that a prosecutor makes good politicians. The United States has the highest rate of incarceration in the world, and its criminal punishment system unfortunately punishes the poor and people of color. Prosecutors have a leading role in sustaining this injustice, in part because they tend to view prisons as solutions to social problems. That worldview is fully on display in a recent unearthed video footage of Kamala Harris defending her decision to criminally prosecute parents for their children's truancy. In this video taken at the Commonwealth Club in 2010, when she was the district attorney in San Francisco, Harris said because of a child growing without an education is tantamount to a crime. She tried to treat the parents as absentee children and as criminals, where she can take them to jail and where Buck Buster's bail, they can be forcibly sterilized. Let's see what she says.
I would not be standing here were it not many of us will say the same thing. And I believe a child born without an education is tantamount to a crime. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy. Well, this was a little controversial in San Francisco. And frankly, my staff went bananas. They were very concerned because we didn't know at the time that I was going to have an opponent in the election race. But I said, look, I'm done. This is a serious issue, and I've got a little political capital, and I'm going to spend some of it. And this is what we did. We recognized that in that initiative, as a prosecutor in law enforcement, I have a huge stick. The school district has got a carrot. Let's work in tandem around our collective objective and goal, which is to get those kids in school. So, to that end, on my letterhead, now let me tell you something about my letterhead. When you're the DA of a major city in this country, usually the job comes with a badge. And there is often an artistic rendering of said badge on your stationery. So, I sent a letter out on my letterhead to every parent in the school district, outlining the connection that was statistically proven between elementary school truancy, high school dropouts, who will become a victim of crime, and who will become a perpetrator of crime. We sent it out to everyone. A friend of mine actually called me and he said, Kamala, my wife got the letter. She freaked out. She got all the kids into the living room, held up the letter, said, if you don't go to school, Kamala's going to put you and me in jail. Yes, we achieved intended effect.
Ain't that about a bitch? You heard what she said about, well, it's going to affect my, I don't have, I don't want to lose this race, so you know what I'm saying? So she just locking up voters, locking up truancy, what she considered truancy people. And on top of that, the law also states these truant parents and children, once they get locked up, can be forcibly sterilized under Buck versus Bell. Kamala Harris, who's running for president,
I would not be standing here. I would not.
Is one of the worst unproductive blacks in the world, an opportunist of the worst kind. She is lukewarm. She's not hot nor cold. She is lukewarm. So you got to spew her out your mouth. Anybody that takes part, and even in the video when she laughed, that devious laugh, like you know what I'm saying, like it was funny, But it's all part of the program. She's part of this, the plot and the plan, doing out there in California and doing away with those they consider unmentionables, This is up there in Nazi Germany in a sort of sense, the way they be picking black people out for this. And the way they had them in, she was sticking up for overcrowding them and stuffing them in prison, keeping them out of sight, out of mind. You understand me? She would never, ever, ever, ever get my vote as president. I don't care. Never, ever. She shouldn't get yours either because she'll do you the same way. You just the end that justify the means. Anyway, it's a Koski of Fun Day. Hit the like button. I'm back at it, baby. Back out here doing it again. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Peace.